When we enter the path of spirituality, when we start practicing bhakti, what are some of the most important elements that we need to implement in our day-to-day life? We need to imbibe in our day-to-day life. Let's try to analyze that today from Ramayana. We are so fortunate, isn't it? By Lord's mercy, we have some inclination towards spirituality. And more importantly, the wonderful pastimes of the Lord are documented. If these pastimes were not documented by great personalities, for example, Ramayana, Valmiki. So let's enter Ramayana and let's see today what we can learn. When Maya Sita got kidnapped, so Ravan was carrying Maya Sita. There was a bird that came to fight. Who was that? Yes, everyone knows, Jatayu. So Jatayu tried his best to fight with Ravan. But Ravan is Ravan, the 10-headed one, Dashanana. Sophisticated weapons. And what Jatayu had? He had his wings, he had his beak, he had his claws. And Ravan, in no time, he removed his sword, he cut the wings of Jatayu, and Jatayu was about to leave his body. And when Lord Ram comes back, Lakshman comes back after killing the deer. So at that time, they see that Sita is missing. And Lord Ram went mad, calling out for Sita. And in that mood, he started walking around. See, any mad person on this planet, if he has to talk, he'll talk with human beings. But when it comes to our Lord, so much of intense love for his devotee, he's showing that how much love I have for my devotee. That is Maya Sita. He's asking stones, did you see my Sita? He's asking trees, did you see my Sita? He's asking birds, did you see my Sita? And Lakshman is observing all this. Lakshman is trying to pacify Lord Ram. Since the entire course, Lord Ram and Lakshman, they're moving towards a place where Jatayu was lying in his own blood. So at that time, when Lord Ram sees, he feels that some demon has eaten my consort Sita, and there he is lying now in her blood. But then when he comes close, he sees it's Jatayu. And Jatayu is the one who gives information that walk towards that direction. Ravan has taken Sita in that direction. Lord Ram has no clue about Ravan. Where he stays, what is the place, nothing. And he is just entering from one jungle to another to another. At one point of time, he enters a forest and a huge demon comes there. His name is Kabanda. You all have heard about Kabanda? No? Okay. So Kabanda, this demon was very special. This demon had a fight with Indra. And what Indra did was, he fought in such a way that the demon's hands and legs went inside the body. And then he begged and prayed, now what will I do? You please help me. And Indra was the one who blessed. And Indra placed his mouth at the belly and eyes on the chest. And he had huge arms. And Indra had told that when you meet the Supreme Lord, Lord Ram, at that time, you'll come back to your original form. Very, very beautiful celestial form. And Kabanda was waiting. When will this person come? And in the course of waiting, whatever he would get around, whoever he would catch, he would eat. So now Ram has come, Lakshman has come. And he went there running. It is described, Ram and Lakshman, they went 2 miles behind when they saw Kabanda. But still he came very close. He caught both of them and he started thinking how to eat them up. And Lakshman is fearful. He is saying, Bhaiya, you leave. You leave. Somehow I'll become an offering to him. And Ram, see, his Supreme Lord, he's very chilled out. He's saying, don't worry, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. And at that time, Lakshman, he loudly shouted, let's cut the arms of this demon. And now when this demon heard, Kabanda heard this, immediately started devouring them. But who can devour Ram and Lakshman? They removed their sword, they cut the hands, and he was there in his own pool of blood. And at that time, Kabanda heard Ram's name and immediately remembered what Indra had said. And he was so happy. He said, you're Ram. You're Ram. I was waiting for you. And then he described the entire past. So Kabanda was that person who gave information to Lord Ram that you should go to Rishyamukha Parvat, and there you will meet a person who is in a similar situation like that of yours, who has lost his wife, and his name was Sugriva. And Kabanda was the one who also said, before going there, I would request you go to Pampa Sarovar. Pampa Sarovar is made up of the waters of 7 seas. Go to Pampa Sarovar. That's a very, very beautiful place. And there is a great ascetic waiting for you. And her name is Shabari. Please go there. And Kabanda left. He assumed a very beautiful form and he went to the celestial worlds. Now Lord Ram and Lakshman, they started walking towards Pampa Sarovar. So in this way, in Valmiki Ramayana, for the first time, Shabari's name comes. Now who was Shabari? Let's try to understand about her. And through Shabari, let's try to understand what are those important principles of life, especially for us as spiritual practitioners, that we can implement. Okay, for your information, Shabari, in her past life, she was the daughter of a Gandharva. And his name was Chitra-kavacha. What was his name? Chitra-kavacha, Gandharva, Chitra-kavacha. And his daughter, her name was Malini, who later, next life, she becomes Shabari, Malini. Now this lady, Malini, very beautiful. We cannot imagine how these celestial beings look. Through Shastra, we understand they're extremely beautiful. This Malini, she was married to a very austere person, and his name was Vitihotra. So 3 names were come across. Who was the Raja? Chitra? Kavacha. Yes, Chitra Kavacha. His daughter? She was married to Vitihotra. Vitihotra. Now what happened is Vitihotra would spend a lot of time just doing tapasya. And Malini, she was thinking, he's not spending time with me. And she found someone who was ready to spend time with her. A tribal fellow. So she had a paramour now. So she had an affair with a tribal fellow. And here Vitihotra, such a austere Brahmana, such a austere person. So when Vitihotra got to know this, that she has a paramour and he's a tribal, he cursed her. You're so much inclined to have association of tribal? Go. Take birth among tribals. So in this way, next life of Shabari or next life of Malini was in the community of tribals. And that community was called as Shabaras. And therefore, since she took birth in Shabara community, she was called as Shabari. Now, one point that all of us can note here. Anyways, all of us know how great devotee Shabari was at a later point of time. But here is a very important point to analyze. That even if we have some sinful background, even if we have committed a lot of mistakes in our life, actually it doesn't matter when we come to devotional service. Once we come to bhakti and we take a vow that I'll not be doing all these sinful activities again, and once we start living a pure life, you know what? Lord will never look at what we did in the past. Never. We'll be spared. We'll be spared. You know why? Because bhakti is very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. As soon as someone starts practicing bhakti, the person becomes very purified. And quickly, all the contamination that is there in the heart is removed. Therefore, Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, please repeat. Shipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat shantim nigacchati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. 9th chapter, Shloka 31. Krishna is saying, Arjuna, go and tell everyone. Arjuna is asking, what should I tell? And Krishna is saying, go and tell everyone, Name Bhakta Pranashyati, my devotee will never perish. Why? Why is Krishna saying that? Even if a devotee in the past has committed some nonsense, which is not proper, Krishna is saying, Shipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat shantim ne gacchati. Very soon, quickly, he'll get purified because now he's engaging in my bhakti, in spiritual practices. And very soon he'll attain lasting peace. One point to note is, why is it that people are so disturbed within? Why is it that we don't have that eternal peace that everyone is searching for? This is that one reason. Because people don't live a pure life. When we don't live a pure life, naturally we'll be disturbed. For small things we'll get disturbed. And when people start practicing spirituality, start practicing bhakti, start living a pure life, naturally they feel very, very peaceful. Very, very peaceful. And one point is very clear through this discussion. When a person practices spirituality, bhakti, very quickly the person will get purified. And when the person gets purified, what he did in the past doesn't matter. Yes. Therefore, what she did in the past doesn't matter. What matters is what she is doing now as a devotee. So, therefore, all of us, doesn't matter what background we have come from, doesn't matter what we did in the past, but if we decide that I want to live a pure life, that's it. The rest will be taken care because bhakti is very, very powerful. We see there are many pastimes in Srimad Bhagavatam also. There was a person called Ajamil. Can you imagine, at the age of 88, he had a 5-year-old child. So you can imagine what was the entire life of Ajamil. He was so addicted to a prostitute, so very addicted. But there was a turning point in his life where he realized, no, this is not proper. He gave up all that he was doing. He went to Haridwar and he started living a pure life. And guess what? He got completely purified. Completely purified. That's the power of bhakti. We have so many examples in the Shastra, so many examples. And maybe in future we can be some examples. Yes. So in this way, Shabari, she takes birth in the Shabara community. Now, right from childhood, she was inclined towards living a pious life. As soon as she saw that there were many animals sacrificed at one place, she was not able to tolerate that pain of the animals. Immediately, she ran away from that place. And she was searching for a guru, searching for a teacher. Now see, since she has come from tribal background, no one was ready to accept her as a disciple. No one. But there was one Rishi and his name was Matanga Rishi. He accepted her as a disciple, Matanga Rishi. Shabari was serving Matanga Rishi very nicely. She was doing various services in the ashram. She would clean the ashram. She would take care of the cows in the ashram. In this way, she went on spending her life. She was very young when she came. And now, when Matanga Rishi and other sages in the ashram, they were about to leave their bodies and go back to a higher destination. So at that time, Matanga Rishi, Guru of Shabari, he told, you stay back here in this place. Because in future, the Supreme Lord, Lord Ram will come here. You stay back. And he left. Now what Shabari was doing every day is very nice to note. I was just thinking that if someone tells us, you wait here, no, someone will come to meet you. Or chalo, Supreme Lord will come to meet you. Wait here. Yes. We'll wait maybe for half day, 1 day, 2 days. I think more than that is difficult, isn't it? Yes. Maybe a week, chalo, max a week. And then he will tell, whatever he said is not proper. I don't think that person will come. My guru is a liar. But Shabari, look at her faith. When Matanga Rishi said, you stay back here, she stayed back. For your information, she was young when Matanga Rishi left that place. And when she was extremely old, at that time she met Ram. So you can imagine, many decades she was there in that ashram. Not few years, decades she was there in that ashram. So first step in spiritual life is faith, Shraddha. Faith in what? Faith in scriptures, Shastra. Faith in Guru. Faith in the sadhus, the spiritual practitioners. Faith is very, very important. If faith is not there in scriptures, then there is no question of advancing in spiritual life. Forget it. Done. You cannot do anything in spiritual life. First is faith in scriptures. And that stage itself is called a Shraddha stage. There's a ladder where we reach the highest destination. The first step on that ladder is Shraddha, faith. Unflinching faith in scriptures. I meet many funny people at times on the street, and some people ask questions. Then we quote Bhagavad Gita, we quote Bhagavatam. And they say, no, you tell what you feel. Don't quote Bhagavad Gita, don't quote Bhagavatam. Now, how does that matter what I feel and what you feel? Or both feelings can be wrong, or both opinions can be wrong. We need to have benchmark from where we can learn. And that benchmark is Vedic scriptures. If we have faith on Vedic scriptures, then we can learn proper knowledge of spirituality. Otherwise, very difficult. Tell me, how can we understand anything that is spiritual? Spirit soul we cannot see. Supreme Lord we cannot see. What karma we have done we don't know. Sattvagun, Rajogun, Tamogun, how they are acting. Very difficult to understand. If we don't have Bhagavad Gita, if we don't have these Vedic scriptures, we'll be like those dumb people, lame people, who will always ask this question, Pata nahi kyun ho raha hai mere saath ye sab? I don't know why I'm suffering. I don't know why this is happening with me. As soon as you understand Shastra, even a little bit, there's a lot of clarity that the person gets. And he understands why something is happening in his life, what is the reason, and how can I cross over that. But then if I don't have faith on scriptures, that's a very, very unfortunate thing. Because then I'll not have Dhrida, Shraddha, strong faith, and I'll never be able to practice spiritual life. We have seen so many Gita Course participants coming for our programs, and at times, initially, they're very nice, they continue, but then with time, they drop out. And one of the reasons that we see is this, that is lack of faith. I always say this, we have so much of blind faith on so many things in this world. So many things. So Friday, I was traveling from Bhubaneswar to Bangalore. We sat on a flight. And 40 minutes we were in the flight. And there was a sound that was coming again and again from the pilot's cabin. That there is some problem in the flight, therefore we are taking some more time. ऐसे करते करते flight से उतार दिया after some time. Then we had to get into another flight after again security check-in and this and that. So I was just wondering, उसका मुंह तो दिख नहीं रहा है मुझे. देखे आप लोग के पायलट का मुंह? वो अंदर से अनाउंस करके चले जाते हैं. Yes, they're busy. We have never seen, but then we have so much of faith that these people are the ones who are going to take me to the next destination, wherever I want to go. And at times I've seen so much of blind faith that we have in our day-to-day life for so many different things. When the scientists are saying something, we have full faith. Yes, whatever they say is correct. Equal to mc square. I will not verify, but then I'll accept. Why? Einstein has told. This scientist, that scientist. Similarly, those people who are struggling with faith, one thing that we have to ask ourselves is, if I'm able to believe in all these mortal beings of this world for their research, for their theories, why can't I believe those stalwarts in spiritual line were so realized and so pure? We have so many stalwarts, isn't it? We had Madhvacharya. You read about Madhvacharya, you'll realize how great personality he was. You all know Madhvacharya? Udupi? Yes, Udupi Krishna. He was the one who manifested Udupi Krishna. Ramanujacharya, another great personality. Shankaracharya, such a great personality. All these personalities, they have told that one should have firm faith in scriptures because scriptures are the ones which will show us the right path to attain perfection of human form. They were the first step in any sadhaka, any spiritual practitioner's life is faith in Vedic scriptures. Faith in Bhagavad Gita, faith in Bhagavatam, and so on. Yes. Look at Shabari. She had faith in scripture, she had faith in Guru, she had faith in sadhus, and therefore she remained there. I always get goosebumps when I speak about Shabari. How can for decades someone do the same thing every day? Matanga Rishi left. She began her service. She started cleaning the place. She would clean the entire road. She would clean the ashram. She would decorate the place. Valmiki Ramayana doesn't speak about the berries, the bear, which is very famously spoken, but other versions do speak, so we'll consider that also. She'll pluck the berries and she'll keep it ready. and she'll wait. Early morning, she does all this and she waits. And she's looking. Bhagwan aaye nahi abhi tak. Aaye kya? She's waiting. And can you imagine? She waits till the sunset. And the sun sets, she goes inside her ashram. Again, next day morning with full enthusiasm. Yes, today Lord Ram will come. Again, clean the entire place, clean the road, plug the flowers, berries, decorate the place, keep it ready. Today my Lord will come. Today my Lord will come. Again, full day waiting, and then again, she's Moro, she gets back into the ashram. Like this. Day 1, day 2, day 3, it went on and on for decades together. Frankly speaking, if I would have been there in her place, I was thinking, what would I have done? Maybe first 2-3 days, maybe I'll decorate the place. Next day, after that, we'll plug the flowers and keep up. दूर दिखेंगे तो decoration चालू करेंगे. Maybe after some time, even that will not be there. Okay, when Lord comes at that time, this is the berry tree, I'll go pluck. I'll tell the Lord, come sit with me, I'll pluck and give you. Yes. Therefore, the next thing when it comes to practicing spirituality is one should have intense desire to progress. She had an intense desire to meet Ram. Without that intense desire, we cannot carry on the path of spirituality. People have some intense desires in this world to do something which is material. Can you give me some examples? Intense desire to do something. Okay, to get some degrees. Yes. एक PhD में समझ सकता हूँ, 2 PhD कभी-कभी. I know some people who have 3 PhDs, triple doctorate. Intense desire, उसके बिना थोड़ी होगा ये. Can you imagine? You want to buy something, you have intense desire for it, you work hard to get it. And so on and so forth. You can analyze for yourself the various intense desires that we have. Since I have got some intense desire, I can carry on. During Hitler's time, I heard about one person, he was in the concentration camp. But he survived the concentration camp. And later he was interviewed. You know what he said? I was able to survive because I had an intense desire to meet my family members. Can you imagine? Obviously, in the AC room sitting, will not understand what is concentration camp. Where people are beaten black and blue and not given food to eat. They are made to eat their own excreta, etc., etc. So dirty. How can someone sustain? But still he sustained. Still he sustained. He had an intense desire to meet family members. And here we see Shabari. She had intense desire to meet Lord Ram. Intense desire. And therefore she was able to sustain. Sab chale gaye. Guru left. All the other personalities who were there around, they also left. Still she was able to sustain because she had an intense desire to meet Lord Ram. Therefore, each one of us, we might have faith in scriptures, therefore all of us are here. But if we now really want to progress on the path of bhakti, the next thing that we need is intense desire. I want to advance in spiritual life. I want to attain the Lord. I want to attain perfection of human form. Intense desire should be there. Whatever I'm hearing in theory, I want to experience that. Intense desire. When that intense desire is there, then the person can progress very nicely. Therefore, one of our Acharya, Srila Rupa Goswami, he quotes a very beautiful shloka. Please repeat. Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Matihi Kriyatam Yadi Utopi Labhyate Tatra Laulyam Api Mulyam Mekalam Janma Koti Sukritir Na Labhyate. So this particular shloka says, Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Matihi Kriyatam Yadi Kutopi Labhyate. So wherever you are able to find this Krishna Bhakti, pick it up. Pick it up quickly. Because if we really want to attain the perfection of human form, what is needed is laulya. Laulya means greed or intense desire. So if someone wants to attain the highest destination, breaking the cycle of birth and death, going back home back to Godhead, we have to pay a price. And Prabhupada always said, there's only one price to pay, and that is desire. If you have intense desire to advance, we will advance. Because Lord will bless us for sure. Surely, Lord will bless us. And here we see such a great personality, Shabri. She had intense desire. And every day, with that intense desire, she would wake up. And every day, with full enthusiasm, she will start doing her activities. And now, when you're enthusiastically rendering some service, along with that, there's something else also needed. That is patience. And Shabri had that patience. Sometimes when people come initially to Bhakti, so they ask this question, when will I get rid of the lust which I have in my heart, the anger that I have? See, one point is very important to note. In spiritual life, patience makes a lot of difference. Patience coupled with enthusiasm is very, very important. Enthusiastically, I'm doing various different activities as told by my mentors, as told by my gurus. I'll do that because I have faith in scriptures. I have desire now to advance. And along with that, I'm enthusiastic to execute. But now when I'm enthusiastically chanting the holy names, when I'm enthusiastically studying Shastra, enthusiastically coming in association of devotees and rendering services, so at that time the next thing that is needed is patience. So I have to be patient and wait, the results will come. And how to increase that level of patience? When we keep counting the number of blessings that we get every day while practicing bhakti, oh, that actually helps us to remain patient. To be frank, we don't have any qualification, but then it's very wonderful to note the merciful Lord has allowed us not to practice spiritual life. So when you start counting, oh, I have no qualification, still I am amongst qualified people. I'm so fortunate. Oh, I have inclination to practice bhakti. Oh, I'm so fortunate. And every time, when I associate with devotees, I get the desire to increase my bhakti more. Yes, I'm so fortunate. And I'm so fortunate that I have a platform now to practice spiritual life, spiritual practices. So when we keep counting blessings in our life, our patience increases. And here we see Shabri, you're so patient. I don't know what blessings she was counting. What was there to count there? Guru left, all the associates left. She was the only one there, maybe with few more people. And every day she's doing something for decades together. But still, she was able to have that patience and go on with full enthusiasm. Therefore, the first thing that we need is faith in scriptures, faith in Guru. Second thing that we need is intense desire. I want to advance in spiritual life. The third thing that we should have is patience coupled with enthusiasm. So with these three, will help us. These three steps will help us to keep moving on and on and on spiritual path. Every day, Shabri was waiting. I have a question. Did Shabri ever see Lord Ram? Never saw. Yes. She was just told by Guru, एक दिन राम आएंगे. Hey, कैसे दिखता है वो? If say a person comes in front of you and you don't know who that person is, how will you recognize? And Shabri is waiting every day. Now someone can say, "Bro, forest में और कोई आएगा नहीं, शायद भगवान ही आएंगे." But on a serious note, you never know. Yes. And she was waiting every day. She was waiting and finally one day, she has done everything. She has kept everything ready. The road is decorated, ashram is cleaned, and the berries are ready. Everything is set. At that time, she's looking and she saw Lord Ram coming from far distance. The beautiful personality, holding a bow in the hand, having the matted hair, beautiful eyes extending till ears, beautiful reddish lips, the greenish complexion, broad chest, and he's wearing the clothes, which is well suited for people staying in the forest. Wearing a nice garland, he is walking. Can you imagine when Lord is walking, how much effulgence will be there in that place? And along with that, Lakshman is also walking. Ananta is there, Vishnu is there, both of them together walking. And Shabri is looking at them. And Shabri could make out, this is my Lord. This is my Lord. I had this question, how did she get to? He has never seen. It can be someone else also. Why it's only Lord Ram? And the answer to this question is, in spiritual life, many things we might not be able to perceive as of now. But then, through our eyes, we're not able to perceive through our eyes. But then when we hear, at that time we realize. Therefore, the first thing that takes place in spiritual life is we hear. We hear, and all the other things will manifest, all the other realizations will manifest. We have a very beautiful example from Srimad Bhagavatam. One of my favorite characters, Rukmini Devi, Lord Krishna's first wife. Her marriage was fixed with Shishupal. But she was not interested in Shishupal. She wanted to marry Krishna. And you know what? The best part is she has never seen Krishna. I'm talking about Dwapar Yuga. So in Dwapar Yuga, a queen, a person who comes from an aristocratic family, a queen, she writes a letter. She writes a letter to a person whom she has never seen. And she gives a plan in that. How to kidnap me. Wow. She is writing. So on this particular day, I'll be going out to take darshan of Durga on this place. So while going, not many people will be around. You come and kidnap me. If you don't kidnap me, if you don't marry me, I'll leave my body. I'll die. Best part is she has never seen Krishna. Again, here comes a very important understanding. How did she have so much of devotion towards Krishna if she has not seen Krishna? And the answer is she had heard about Krishna. So this Shravan, hearing, the activity that we are doing sitting here in this hall is a very, very, very important activity. Because just by hearing about the Lord and His teachings, we develop devotion towards Him. We develop love towards Him. Shabri had heard. Shabri had heard from her guru, Matanga. She had heard from other sages about Lord Ram and his glorious character, his glorious activities. And naturally, she had so much of affection and love towards the Lord. And that's why when she saw the Lord, she was able to recognize He is my Lord. So wonderful. Therefore, each one of us sitting here, when you want to advance in spiritual life, along with faith, along with the desire, along with patience and enthusiasm, everyday sadhana makes a lot of difference. What is everyday sadhana? Everyday sadhana means we need to do everyday spiritual activities, certain spiritual activities. One of the most important spiritual activity is chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day without fail. Because chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra acts as a shield. It protects us from various illusory things of this world. Therefore, every day when we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, all that I'm describing now, all that will keep increasing. Our faith will keep increasing. Our desire will keep increasing. Our enthusiasm will keep increasing. Our patience will keep increasing. Therefore, chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is very important. And to continue chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day, we need to hear spiritual subject matters from Bhagavad Gita. Very, very important to hear. Yes. Just by doing this Shravan, you will see that we'll get a lot of enthusiasm to continue our spiritual life. A lot of enthusiasm. You'll see a consistency in your spiritual practice. Therefore, this is called as sadhana. That is chanting and hearing. These two practices keeps us alive in spiritual life. Shravan and Kirtan. These are technical terms. Shravan and Kirtan. And when it comes to Shabari, she was doing that. And therefore she was able to sustain. She was doing that. So she was hearing. She was hearing about the Lord, and therefore she was able to recognize. And when she got darshan of the Lord, I don't know if I can describe what was her feeling. I think all of us can just imagine. You're waiting for something for decades together. You're waiting for a person for decades together, and that person arrives in front. I think we will faint out of ecstasy, out of happiness. We'll cry out of happiness. We'll not know what to do. We might get goosebumps out of happiness. Maybe Shabari went through all this, and maybe much more than what we think. And at that time, Shabari very nicely, she welcomed the Lord. She paid her obeisances to the Lord. I don't know if she was choked and she was able to speak or no. Yes. But she was very happy. She made the Lord sit. Same place which she was getting ready every day for decades together, that place. She made the Lord to sit. Lakshman was standing, and at that time, she worshipped the Lord. Valmiki Ramayana says that Shabari, she worshipped the Lord with whatever paraphernalia she had. Actually, our Vedic culture is very glorious, very glorious. Our Vedic culture says Atiti Devo Bhava. Guests are treated as Deva. Yes. A Tithi without information, without telling when they are coming. And they just knock the door. And you're getting late for your office. And in the modern times, oh, बिना बताया तूने बुलाया इसको? And the wife is saying, मैंने तो नहीं बुलाया, तूने बुलाया होगा. When it comes to our culture is very glorious. Even unknown people were invited and they were treated so wonderfully in the house. They were welcomed by giving a welcome drink. Obviously not chai. They would make madhuparka with milk and honey. They would be given water to wash their hands and feet and the face. And if the person is well-to-do, they would feed a nice feast because they would consider that Lord has sent this person to our place. And in this way, we see in the Vedic culture, naturally people were very respectful towards others. But unfortunately now, since people have become so sinful, we're very scared. We need to have a door after door after door with a hole to see, who is that? Now what to do? That's the thing that's taking place. Still, I wonder, are we really advancing? People say that we are advancing with AI and all that. But RI is reducing. Artificial intelligence might be increasing, but the real intelligence? Yes. Recently, we were just having a discussion in some place. So we were just having this discussion that, are we really advancing? When it comes to character of people, that is degrading with time. The value system is degrading with time. Then what is actually increasing? Tendency to do a sense gratification and sinful activities, and what else? Therefore, when we get back to our Vedic culture, at that time, we can live a peaceful life. And what is Vedic culture all about? Keeping the Lord in the center of our life and living our life for His pleasure. That's Vedic culture. That's it. Nothing more than this. No need to change anything else in life. Just include one element called bhakti. That's it. Naturally, we will see that life will be very, very blissful. And all those people who have been practicing for quite some time, they can resonate with what I'm saying. Life becomes very blissful. And here we see that Shabari, she has invited the Lord and she is worshipping the Lord. And then the famous pastime begins. The pastime of feeding the berries to the Lord. She was eating the berry. Some berry she was throwing. Some berry she was offering to the Lord. And we had Lakshman. Lakshman was going mad. What nonsense is this? What is happening? Lakshman actually represents Guru. And Lakshman is going mad. Mad lady, what are you doing, Supreme Lord? You're feeding your juta. See, when it comes to Shabari, what is that qualified her to do certain act which is not normal? What is that? Her love and devotion towards the Lord. She had no desire for enjoyment herself. Yes. The lust was missing from the heart. The anger was missing from the heart. She was naturally qualified for doing something which was not normal. We can also do that. When we cook something, we can eat and we can feed to the Lord, provided lust, anger, greed, envy, pride, illusion, if they're missing from our heart, we can do that. Is it missing or is it there? Very much? Very much there? Or too much? Probably too much. Yeah, actually. No, even with me also. So we are not there at the level of Shabari. So how can we think, मैं भी ऐसे ही कुछ करूँगा, I करूँ? We cannot. No, that's an offense to say also that I'll also do what Shabari did. She was pure and we are not. We are not pure. But we have faith that someday we'll become pure. Someday we'll become pure. Yes. And when Shabari was feeding, she was feeding with that love, with that purity to Krishna, to Ram. And Lakshman was going mad looking at that. And Lord Ram calmed him down. Calm down. Lakshman is an angry man in Ramayana. When Lord Ram was banished and he came to the forest, so Bharat got to know and Bharat came to take Ram back. So when Bharat was coming, he came with everyone. The entire Ayodhya was there with him. And therefore all the birds were just moving around and all the animals were running hither and thither. There was a huge commotion in the forest. And Lord Ram told Lakshman, Lakshman, see who is coming. And Lakshman climbed up the tree and he started saying, Bharat is coming. Bhaiya, get ready. Bharat is coming to kill both of us. And he's very angry. And at that time, Lord Ram is saying, you cool down, cool down. Bharat is coming to take me. He is not coming to kill me. So Lakshman is that sort of person in the entire Valmiki Ramayana. That is also out of love for Lord Ram. And here, out of love for Lord Ram, one devotee is getting angry on another devotee. And here Lord is in between. He's like, Shant, let me accept the service of this devotee. Now, another question that comes here is, recently someone asked me, why was Shabri eating the berries and giving it to the Lord? She wanted to give? The tasty berries, is what you want to say? She wanted to give the tasty berries. Therefore, she was chewing some and then some she was throwing and some she was giving. Yes. I had this question that when it comes to Lord Ram, his consort is goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi herself. She cooks wonderful items for the Lord. Just by her desire, she can manifest a lot of things. And to be frank, Lord need not eat also. But still Lord was accepting. कितना ही मीठा होगा बताओ? कितना ही मीठा होगा? How sweet was that berry? Even if it's the most sweetest thing, I'm sure it will be not as sweet as that is got in Vaikuntha, for sure. Yes. But still Lord was accepting because Lord is bhavagrahi. He accepts the bhava behind the offering, love behind the offering, the affection behind the offering. Yes. Therefore, in Shastra, there's a very beautiful shloka which says, maybe you all can repeat. Murkho vadati Vishnaye, Dhiro vadati Vishnave, Ubhayam to samam punyam, Bhavagrahi Janardhana. So this particular shloka says, Murkha, those who are not educated, those who are illiterate. Illiterate means the ones who have not studied Shastra, they are called as illiterate. All of us. So those people who don't know this Deva Bhasha, that's Sanskrit. So those people might say, Vishnaya Namaha, but that's not the correct pronunciation. Correct pronunciation is Vishnave Namaha. So now when one person who is not literate is saying Vishnaya Namaha, the person who is literate is saying Vishnave Namaha, whom will the Lord bless? Actually, it should be both, or else apna number koi lagega hi nahi fir. Where will we go? Actually, both. Why? And the answer is Ubhayam tu samam punyam bhavagrahi janardana. Because Lord sees the bhava. He knows whom they are calling. He knows. Yes. Therefore, a very important point to note that Lord is tasting the sweetness of not the berries. Lord is tasting the sweetness of Shabari's devotion. Now, someone sitting here might say, then no, I also would like to do things with devotion, with love and devotion like Shabari did. As of now, at our level, we need to follow the rules and regulations. We should learn how to offer bhoga to the Lord. We should learn how to do puja to the Lord with rules and regulations. Yes. We cannot directly jump to Shabari stage. I think we all have understood why we cannot jump to that. Why? Purity. Yes, purity is lacking as of now. Purity is lacking as of now. So we cannot jump to that platform. No, we cannot. So we have to be at our platform, following rules and regulations, learning from our mentors. Therefore, mentors are very, very important in our life. And here we understand very clearly that training is what is needed in bhakti. And when we are trained nicely, then we can continue bhakti very nicely. We will not prematurely jump to the level of Shabari. We'll understand where we are, what is our level. So in this way, we have so many examples in Shastra where Lord has accepted the offering and he is tasting the bhava of that devotee than actually the offering. Any examples you want to share? Okay, Vidurani. Anyone knows the name of Vidurani? Her name was Sulabha. So Sulabha, when Krishna came, she was so happy. Just so happy. In that happiness, she was peeling bananas. She was throwing the banana and giving peel to Krishna, and Krishna is eating. And Krishna is like, wow, so wonderful. So wonderful. How did Krishna have that? I always have this question. How did Krishna eat that? And that too is commenting on it saying, oh, so tasty. And the answer here is Krishna was not actually tasting the peel. Krishna was tasting the bhakti of Vidurani. Any other example? Sudama also got something. Yes, he got chipped rice, poha. And Sudama was not in a mood to give. He was scared because he was sitting on a dining table with golden plate and bowls and all that. Krishna is serving, Rukmini is serving, and he was hesitant to remove his potli in which chipped rice was there. But Krishna, after all, is Paramatma and everyone said, hey Sudama, my Bhabhi didn't send anything for me. No, she might have sent something. What is that? What is that? What is that? And he got that potli, and from there he got one morsel and ate. Second morsel he ate. And in front of Rukmini, he's saying, I've never eaten such a wonderful feast. I don't know, after Sudama left, what happened with. But on a serious note, what was Krishna tasting in that dry chipped rice? Again, devotion of Sudama. In this way, there are many, many, many examples where we see that Lord is accepting the bhava behind the offering of the devotee. And that devotee, whom we are discussing about here, are in the category of Shabari. They're all having that pure heart. Therefore, they're able to exhibit that devotion. But when it comes to us, we have to get trained under our mentors. And slowly and steadily, when our heart gets purified, we will also one day come where we can offer with love and devotion to their lordships. Yes. So in this way, Shabri took the Lord around the entire Pampa Sarovar, and she requested the Lord that, oh Lord, I waited for your darshan. I would like to take your leave now and enter your eternal service. And in front of the Lord, Shabri left this world. Such a glorious way of leaving the world. Looking at the beautiful form of Lord Ram and leaving this world. Therefore, in conclusion, the only thing that I would like to highlight here is, on the path of bhakti, it's not just talking about bhav hona chahiye, bhakti hona chahiye dil mein. It doesn't work like that. वो आएगा बाद में, अभी नहीं. At our level, we have to be practical, and those practical steps we have discussed today. The first thing that all of us should have is faith. Faith in scriptures. Faith in Guru. Very important. Faith. Along with faith, the second thing that we need to have is intense desire. I might have faith, but if I don't have desire to advance in bhakti, then I'll not be able to do anything in bhakti. Yes. So second is I need to have intense desire to advance in bhakti. Now, having faith and intense desire, I'm supposed to act. And how am I supposed to act? With patience and enthusiasm. I need to act with patience and enthusiasm. And I should keep moving. And that patience and enthusiasm will keep increasing day by day when I consistently do Shravan Kirtan, sadhana. Correct. When I consistently do Shravan Kirtan, when I consistently do sadhana. And with time, by doing consistent sadhana, under the guidance of a mentor, my heart will get purified. When my heart gets purified, then naturally I'll keep advancing. And someday I'll be able to taste what Shabari was tasting. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki